To all our listeners out there, welcome back. I'm super excited for this episode of My Creative Classroom because once again this year, we are the official podcast of the Atlantic Education Institute, and I am excited for this announcement to come out with Dr. Mario Chiasson on the show. Mario, thank you so much for joining me on the podcast.
Thank you, Brian, there. And once again, we're looking forward to share a great adventure.
It's going to be an amazing adventure. I sit on the board to help plan the event, and we're bringing some amazing speakers this year to the Institute. But let's talk about the elephant in the room. It used to be known as the Atlantic Education Summit. Why has the name changed to the Atlantic Education Institute? What's the reasoning?
Yeah, that's right. Over the last decade, they were talking about the summit, and the fact it was only a couple days at the maximum for. Now this year it's going to be called an institute, and the institute is a little bit more as a longer event. So we're expanding that there for 2 weeks. It's going to be the last week of July and the first week of August. And it's only going to be the mornings.
That's
from 9 to 12.
Amazing.
Yeah.
What a great change. You know, you used to be in person. The conference used to bring people from all over the world in person. Obviously, the global pandemic kind of put a damper on that last year, and you're continuing to evolve. You moved into the institute 2 weeks long because it's the summer. We don't want to sit in front of our computers all day long. We're now at the mornings only. So give us a sneak peek. What can people expect at this year's Institute? Who are some of the keynote speakers and what are some of the presentations?
Yeah, so let's start with the theme of the event. The theme of the event this year is innovative leadership. And we know that the whole COVID-19 here put a lot of pressure on the education system. And, innovative leadership, really prevailed. And we have many ideas that went across the world, and especially in our nation. So when we talk about innovative leadership, is that we have three major keynotes. Let's first understand what leadership is all about. So we've got Dr. Richard Kelly, author of the book Constructive Leadership 4.0, and it really share about the whole aspect of the evolution of leadership and what type of leadership that we should be promoting with the Industry 4.0. So he's going to kickstart the event, and that's going to be fun and really insightful stories about how industry have transformed themselves and what type of leadership it took to transform the industry. So we're talking about the phenomenon of adjusting, adapting, and adopting new norms, and what type of leadership we need to do that, right? And our second keynote is going to be Patricia Garland, Superintendent of District 43, and that's a district located in central British Columbia. And also as well, they got great stories on how did she adopt about make sure that the continuous learning can occur in all contexts. And finally, we'll talk about Jeremy Hedges. And Jeremy Hedges is a company with the context of COVID, have to transform totally their company and how they have adjust to this new world.
And what an amazing topic, and you mentioned COVID, the reality of what education looks like. And many industries have had to adapt, and innovative leadership is really at the forefront of trying to revolutionize what it looks like, because whether we're working from home virtually, we're having to meet virtually, and a lot of things are happening kind of on the fly. So innovative leadership is a big piece of the puzzle that has really transformed what we know as education. And what amazing speakers there, Dr. Kelly, Patricia Garland, as well as Jeremy Hedges, who has been on the podcast before talking about their journey with the Canadian Shield, and what an amazing story it is. And I'm so excited to hear him once again at the Institute share his story. And so those are three keynotes. So what else do we have to offer? I mean, this is 2 weeks long. So what other things can participants expect during this 2 weeks?
Yeah, very exciting 2 weeks. Yeah, so now we got the three keynotes. We also have two panels, and an interesting story about panels. We want to create two themes of the panels. So the first one is innovative learning communities. So we talk about now leaders within the education system has been able to adjust and adapt in however they make sure, that the well-being was respected. This because we know that it was a lot stressful in any context. We also have, a second panelist that it's basically innovative leaders teaching beyond the classroom. So how teachers were able to adapt and innovate, and how would they transform their learning. How did they reach out to the community? Because the community is a huge partner about this whole engagement of the student while being distant or on distant and remote learning. So I'm looking forward to hear their stories of all those two panels and see how they adapt, adopt, and adjust. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, absolutely. The panels last year were unbelievable. And I can only imagine what this year's panels will bring and the stories they will tell, and hopefully spark innovation within the participants at the Institute. So let's talk about one amazing thing that happened last year and see what we have to offer this year. Last year, you were, I would say, the first or one of the first to bring virtual reality to a conference. You had partnered with Engage, and participants were able to wear VR headsets if they have them, or join directly from their computer and basically engage in this virtual world, say hi to people, interact with things, and really watch someone present. What do you have in store this year that will bring the bar up the next level?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, innovation is our forward of thinking, and our organization committee really stress on how that we can provide, leadership and share ideas, and how that we can redesign to redefine learning. So this year we have partnered with Remo, and Remo is basically a network of a big saloon, for lack of a better term. And what we do is that we'll be bringing participants and also partners to be able to network with this internet platform. So we're really looking forward to explore, discover, share, learn into this platform. So that'll be fun.
How amazing. We're so used to, when we're at a conference in person, being able to go to booths, visit with vendors, talk to them. And you're basically bringing this to this virtual world with Remo and allowing participants to kind of sit at a table and talk with different organizations to learn more. Because although you may take part in their workshop and listen to their session, you may want to sit down, have a one-on-one, or even have a conversation with other educators around the table to know more about what they have to offer. So we've talked about the 2 weeks. We've talked about the keynotes. Where can people go to register to go to the event?
Yeah, exactly. So our event is at Connected-community.ca. That's our website, and that's why we're talking about being connected. Over there, you'll see, the layout of the 2 weeks event. One element that we need to mention is that this year we have an amazing workshop. We got the three types of workshop. We got the 30 minutes workshop. We got the 1 hour workshop, and of course, we got the 2 hours workshop. So participant will be able to wake up in the morning, grab the coffee, select the workshop they would like to attend, and enjoy the PD event.
That's amazing to offer different lengths of workshops, because you may not be able to sit there for 2 hours on Monday, but you can sit there for 30 minutes, and then on Tuesday you can sit there for 2 hours. So it's amazing, that flexibility. And you guys are partnering with some amazing organizations to offer these workshops. Can you give a sneak peek of some of these organizations that will be offering workshops to the attendees? Because we talk about dangling a little fruit or a little carrot in front of people. This might be that little carrot that brings people in.
Yeah, exactly. Well, as a regular partner, Apple's always, share all that content creation. Everything can code. They also have leadership, sessions, so that leaders can have, a digital vision of their school culture. So they have been amazing partners, as well of Logic Academy. They always been bringing robotics, session and workshop, and how they can integrate STEM. They also have Microsoft Teams sessions, and Neil Squires always been there as well over the years, and we got lots to learn about them. We got also a Gaia project. There'll be partners and many more to come.
Already an amazing list. And whoever's listening or watching this, head over to connected-community.com to check out the list of sessions, learn more about the keynote speakers, and even more about the panels that are being offered at the Atlantic Education Institute, because it sounds like an amazing 2 weeks for participants to be able to learn. So, Mario, I appreciate you taking the time joining me on the podcast. Is there anything else that you'd like to share with our listeners and our viewers prior to us leaving?
Yeah, Brian, thank you so much as well. And, to be our official podcast, you're amazing for doing that, and to broadcast all our keynotes, but also that to all the participants that over the years that attended, and we're looking forward to see you back again. So see you in a few weeks.
Absolutely. And Dr. Mario, thank you so much for joining me on the podcast, sharing your story and the journey of the Atlantic Education Summit to the Atlantic Education Institute. I will put the link to the website down in the show notes, as well as the social media handles for the Atlantic Education Institute. As always, follow us on social media at MyCreativePod. Subscribe to us on whatever platform you're listening to us on right now. And we'll see you in a few weeks over at the Atlantic Education Institute. As always, stay tuned, stay creative. This was My Creative Classroom.